Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and we're kicking the week off with some news. So let's dive into it. We've got clan versus clan, of course, coming tomorrow, and it is a personal reward clan v clan. I will be streaming this one because I'm joking. Oh, I ate some peanuts. I ate some peanuts, spicy jalapeno peanuts before streaming. It was before recording. It's a huge mistake. There is crit damage artifacts in the personal rewards. That's kind of rubbish, but hey, look, it's personal rewards. For the regular rewards, we have reflex in there and retaliation, so that's not too bad. Reflex is really good. Of course, they only come in, it looks like, at tier 3 or whatever. But yes, that's fine. 2x campaign, 2x shogun, and 2x forge. Well, the forge is easy. The campaign's a bit tedious, and the shogun, oh man, that could be a little bit hard to do, right? You just might not have a good shogun team, so the bonus points might be a little bit rough for this one. So that is something to watch out for. I will be streaming when it starts, basically. Yeah, as soon as this kicks off, we'll pretty much be streaming for a couple hours tomorrow morning. So I'll see you for that. There is as well, right? So there's double shogun is involved with CVC. Now there is a Sand Devil turn attack tournament on as well, which will give you 60 soul jewels or prism souls or prism soul jewel pieces of prismness. I don't know what they're called, but they're there. This is for this new summon pool, which is kicking off as well today. It's on for the next 3 days and 20 hours. So yeah, it's 60, which would cost you $6 if you're to buy it, basically. About $6 each to summon. 28% chance for legendary, 72% for epic, and these are the rates. I haven't actually looked too much in detail. I believe this is slightly better. That's why I've heard that this is slightly better than the other one. Again, this is really mostly a spenders event, right? If you are able to max out that Sand Devil tournament, which by the way is increasing in cost. For the last while, the Sand Devil tournaments were 3,000 points for the Prism bits. This, I think in the last one and in this one, certainly the last 2 or 3 of these, it's gone up to 3,500. So they're making these more difficult. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that nice? They're getting harder. So you'll get one pull on this for free. You got, slightly better than a 1 in 4 chance to get something really good. And hey, you might get a good epic soul from it as well. So that's nice. And if we look at the champions that are involved in this, again, it really is mostly a spenders event. The legendaries, you got a great selection. I was going to say quite Hydra focused, but actually there's a bit of a mix in there for sure. But again, it's quite a large selection of legendary, so you can't really guarantee you're going to get the specific legendary you want. For example, for me, I'm missing, 5 of these legendary champions? That's a bit off-putting. The epics, you've got some great epics in there, like Geomancer, Hitatsu, Taragi, Ruella, etc., Gembo, Demitha. Like, it's actually a very solid selection of epics. You might be a bit bummed out if you get a really big Burangiri soul. A little bit helpful for Bommel, but not that useful. But it's a decent selection of epics, so there is that. It's a good selection of epics. I don't know. I feel like it's really a spenders event. I will get the free pull and we'll pull it and see if we get something good. Remember to do this during CVC to get extra CVC points. I'm pretty sure you get a nice chunk for doing it over there. And speaking of CVC and pulling things, we will of course have some shard events as well, as always for CVC. So the light's a bit weird because it's a really sunny day, so I've got I usually have a blackout blind and then I've got like an extra light. You see, if I turn on the extra light, it really makes things quite blinding. So I've got like an extra light for the background, but I actually just have the window open today because it's absolute scorcher here in Ireland. It's lovely. These are the summons though. Let's see, from your regular shards, Newt, Valkyrie, Staltis, Dragonbane, and Green Warden Ruark. Then on Wednesday, Roshguard, Bibbled, Artak, and Walking Tombdrang. I would say Newt is the clear winner here, and you could really run 2 Newts, arguably even 3. I've got a second Newt. The second Newt's fantastic. Like, it opens up a lot of things, which is pretty big. I mean, yeah, I've shown my teams off a lot before. Double Newt's great. If you don't have a Newt, you really want a Newt. So Newt's the big one. It is only progressive chance though. So look, if you don't have a Newt, am I saying you go and pull for this? No. I think if you're very close to your Mercy timer, yeah, you might pull, hit Mercy, have a small chance to get the Newt, and if you don't get him, well, whatever. It's probably worth the worth a little bit of a gamble, worth hitting your mercy timer for. But if you're far away from your mercy, no, again, it's a spender's event then at that point. I'm just trying to over-explain stuff here, right? But you get the gist. Other ones that are here that are worth it. I mean, Valkyrie ain't bad. Staltus ain't bad. Not too keen on Green Warden Ruark. Rosh card could open up unkillable teams for you. I'd say Artak would be the other one, honestly. They'd be the two I'd be looking at. Artak is so good for spider dungeons, and he's so good for the ice golem as well. Very, very useful. He was free, and Newt was a fusion. So look, if you've been playing for a long time, you might not have anything major high value from the quote-unquote regular shards. Now, from the void shards, well, Grazor, he's really strong. Tormund is decent, but I do think Grazor is a bit better. He's mostly, obviously, a boss champion and mostly a Hydra champion at that. I've seen him used a little bit in Arena. It's not really his forte. Tormund is more like wave control, which Grazor can do as well, of course. And Tormund is, good for Arena. He's not crazy, but he's good. Then the next day, White King, Narcissus, and Emic. These are both very strong. Emic is much more of a progression champion, which makes this a bit of a harder sell. Right, it makes this event a bit of a harder sell, because if you're in progression, do you have a bunch of void shards lying around to spare? More of a spender's thing, again. But if you're close to Mercy and your early game, it's a big maybe, but it is a maybe that you could go for Emic if you're early game. Maybe, but you might be just better off saving every single shard you can for the next fusion instead to get guaranteed value rather than taking a big gamble. Narcissus, I think, is a better late game champion than Emic and a better end game champion because he is so strong for Arena. That's mostly what he's for. He's just an Arena monster, and we had a guaranteed on him recently. Emic, of course, being a former fusion. We even had sort of the repeat fusion Titan event for Tormund. So Grazor would be the most exclusive, I'd say. That's sort of my vibes on this, though. For me, I am not going for any of these. Obviously, I almost never do, right? We're stockpiling. We're just saving stuff up for, for the next fusion and all that. Remember, the next fusion probably coming pretty soon. We look at the event calendar in-game. Oh, we've got a whole bunch of shadows happening. There's clouds. Clouds came out. What a disaster. But clan versus clan, remember, you have to fuse Wixwell before pretty much Friday morning. Just fuse them during clan versus clan. You should just fuse up your Wixwell. It doesn't look like there's going to be any other events that are going to give you these Prism jewels. Nothing else has started, like artifact enhancement. No, there's nothing else. So I think the only Prism jewels, that's what they're called, Prism jewels, will be for this event, probably, the Sand Devil turn attack, and that's it. We'll see. So I would certainly expect probably a Hero's Path for Vault Keeper Wixwell Soul. Pretty good chance that could kick off this weekend or during next week or the following weekend. And then we'll have a fusion in another couple of weeks. So be prepared for that sort of stuff. Obviously, I will be summoning up Wixwell tomorrow, or fusing Wixwell tomorrow in CVC. We'll be building him up and doing some fun stuff. So I'll see you all for that. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. That's the news. Let me know what you think of all these events. Lots of whale events, right? Big whale summon pool, not even a big whale, but a small whale Kraken event. More so the Tuesday, get another Newt or Grazor if you don't have them and you're a whale. That's more what's going on there. And CVC, it feels like a bit of a not super exciting one is my vibe, actually. Not super exciting. It's kind of like, okay, there's sort of your standard events. Let's wait for what's next. See you for CVC. That's what's coming next. Goodbye.